Hello and welcome back to Rough Around the Edges with me. I've just thrown sand in my face, but that's okay because this is Rough Around the Edges and it is just that. It's unedited, it's unfiltered, it's me talking to you guys. And as you can see, my locale is slightly different this week. I am away, we are in Florida. I am on the beach in St. Augustine and it is 6:20 in the morning, and the reason it is this ungodly hour is because I wanted to come down here for the sunrise, but unfortunately, as you can see on the horizon, it's quite cloudy. There's quite a few people on the beach further down. Obviously other people have had the same idea to come down here for the sunrise. Whenever I get away, I love to get in water. Whenever I come away, whether it's a lake, whether it's the sea, I always try to have a dip. I don't know why, maybe it's a hangover from being a kid. Whenever my mum took us anywhere, we would always end up jumping in water. And being on the East Coast, I just did never eat shredded wheat then to remember my compass points. I figured I'd come and check out the sunrise, which I've done, like if I've ever gone to Miami or anything like that. It's just something I like to do. Everybody said in the house that they were going to do it. I've literally just seen a dolphin or something come up there and just seen its fin. That was cool. That was cool. What was that? No one's here to shout, did you see that? That was just there. Oh, amazing. So, like I said, we are away on holiday, but I've got into a rhythm with this, so I wanted to keep it up. And I wanted to talk about Pride Month. I can't believe I'm talking about Pride Month at 6:20 on a Friday morning. But yeah, it's June, it's Pride Month. Something that has been really noticeable being here in Florida. So we've come here before because Joel's parents have a house here. So we've been a few times. We came with the kids a couple of years ago. We were with the kids this time, and there's been a marked difference in the amount of Pride stuff in shops, whether that's been displays, whether that's been merchandise, whether that's been whatever. Even Disney, I mean, we've only been to one of the parks, Hollywood Studios, but that was even muted. And Disney's like a big fan and champion of LGBT rights and visibility and things like that. So it's been really interesting. I put a message out this week on Instagram for Pride to just as a bit of something, and I was talking about people who are on the same side as me. So this is the criteria for if we're on the same side. If you believe that people should get a fair shot, if people should have equality of opportunity, regardless of age, sex, gender, sexuality, colour, religion, creed, that those people should be afforded the same opportunities. Number one. Number two is that you think that, we should leave the world in a better place than we found it. So better quality of environment, better quality of standards, better, rights afforded to people. And if you just believe that all human beings, regardless of who they are, should be given the same human rights, education, ability to get married, ability to have healthcare and things like that, we're on the same side. That's kind of it, really. And I appreciate within that there's a big scope for lots of nuance. But I put this message out and said that if you think that we're on the same side, and there are people who kind of oppose that, what I would consider the right, and I know I'm making sweeping generalizations because there are people who are in the LGBT community who support them, who would say that they support people on the right or whatever. So I understand that there's lots of scope for interpretation. But basically, if you agree with those things, then I would say by and large we're on the same side, because unity doesn't mean uniformity. It doesn't mean that we all have to have the same life experience, the same value, the same, wants and needs in life to share similar values and beliefs, right? You can just see the sun is starting to peek through over there. That is the sun. Yeah, if you share those, I put that message out, and it got a lot of people agreeing and saying that, you know, the right looks like they've got their shit together. They present a united front and they look like they know what they're doing. And if you look at the left, or people who agree with me, or let's say, I'm just going to use left and right for ease, then we look really fractured and divided because we all just tear each other apart because someone's like, take me for example, I speak up and it's like, you can't speak for me, you're not effeminate enough, you're not gay enough, your life's not been hard enough, you're too this, you're too, and or someone else speaks up and they're not woman enough, they're not black enough, they're not man enough, they're not gay enough, their life hasn't been hard enough, they're not poor enough. You're constantly told that we are not enough, and the world tells us that anyway. So why would people come to us and people on our side when we just pull each other down? The whole and the irony of a lot of people in the LGBT community who talk like that have been told their entire life that they are not enough. There we go, there's the sun coming up. That they are not enough, and then we do it to each other, and I just think it's a travesty, and that is why people lurch to the right. That's why people are going, and young men especially are constantly told that they're not enough, and then they go, well, I'll just go somewhere where I'm told that I am enough, that I don't have to change. And I just think that is something that's really important to remember, especially at Pride Month. Let's get our shit together and not pull each other down, because no one is going to embody every single, you know, there is no perfect human being. There is nobody who is probably perfect to talk about everything, but we don't have to be the same to want the same things. And I think that is really, really important to remember. Let's have a look at this sunrise. These guys have come out for the sunrise as well. When I put that message out, I was then inundated with messages talking about, well, what about trans people? What about trans people? What about trans people? And I was like, well, what about trans people? Again, it just proves my point. Why are we finding something to tear us apart, like pull us apart and divide us, when that wasn't the aim of the message? It's like people are professionally outraged. They just want to be angry all the time, and they want to find something to argue with somebody about. And obviously it's not everybody, it's probably a vocal minority, but it's just, yeah, it's so frustrating, especially when you're someone who puts content out or genuinely tries to do things from a good place. And listen, I know I don't always say the right things, I don't always do the right things, I am far from a perfect human being, but it's so interesting that these people would rather focus on what is different rather than what's the same. And we have so much more in common than what's the same. And it's, you know, Pride is about unity, and it's about equality, and it's about championing each other and just wanting to be able to get on with our life. And then you get, well, Pride has become this and Pride has become that. And Pride is problematic, as you know, there are elements of it that, you know, whether it's the rainbow capitalism of companies just jumping on board and trying to rainbow wash their everything and capitalize on it. And there's a lot of virtue signaling. There's a lot of, I know that people talk about the types of people that go to Pride. That was something else that I got a lot. Well, it's these people who go to Pride and they're doing X, Y, and Z. And I can honestly say I've never seen people talking about it being a kink thing. And, you know, you get people dressing in crazy outfits and things like that. But I've personally never seen anything untoward. Maybe that's where I'm going. Maybe that's the Prides I'm going to. But I've been to London, I've been to Manchester, I've been to New York, but if you go into the parades, like, you're not seeing that, anything that's untoward. So I honestly don't know what people are talking about. People are saying, oh, the type of people who are this. And I was like, well, I'm the type of person who goes to Pride, and I've never seen that. And I'm not someone who dresses up or is into anything that is people might deem as inappropriate. But I guess even if I was, what are we saying? That you can go to Pride and that you can live your life and you can be gay and you can have rights as long as you behave in a very strict set of norms. That is prejudice. That you can have the rights that somebody else has, but only on our terms. There are terms to those rights. And because, you know, if there are straight people who are into whatever, right? It's not for me to name and shame people. There are straight people who are into whatever, but if someone, you know, a straight person, for instance, dresses inappropriately, does something appropriately, we don't say, oh, they're giving all straight people a bad name. They're setting the cause back. They shouldn't be, all that kind of stuff that we hear with the LGBT community. That is prejudice. That is homophobia. That is discrimination. That, you are allowed to have what everybody else has, but only if you act a certain way at a certain time in a certain place. That's conditional. That's not freedom. That isn't freedom. And of course, there should be repercussions if someone was to break the law or things like that. Obviously, that's not what that isn't what I'm saying. But I think that's something to remember this Pride Month, is that there are a lot of us who want the world to be a better place, who are on the same team, and we should focus on the things that unite us rather than the differences that we have. And people will say, oh, well, that's naive and it's idealism. But I think you have to start there rather than from a place of cynicism, and you have to build backwards. Because if you start from a place of distrust, from cynicism, skepticism, it doesn't work. So that's my thoughts. So this Pride Month, get yourself to a Pride parade. Pride is supposed to be a protest. It's supposed to be, that's how it started out, as a protest march, because people wanted equal rights, because people wanted to be treated with respect. And I feel that some of those issues are, a lot of those issues are still prevalent in a lot of our community. And I think that it makes me really sad to see so many people give this, I'm all right. I don't want anybody to upset the apple cart because I'm okay. It feels very pull the ladder up Jack to me. Like, I'm all right, my life's okay, but somebody else isn't. But them making a noise causes problems for me. And that, for me, doesn't sit right with me. Doesn't sit right to say, I'm okay, so screw everybody else. That just doesn't, I find it quite uncomfortable that people are so short-sighted and self-serving, which in and of itself, saying it out loud, sounds quite naive, but I just don't think that there's any need to be like that. But I understand why people feel like that, because it comes from fear, and I get that. I understand it. As much as I don't like it, I understand it. So this June or July, or as it's coming up now, to Pride parades, go to a Pride parade. Maybe don't go to a big one. Don't go to London. I think London Pride is horrible. But if you're in the US or if you're in the UK, go to a smaller Pride, a smaller town. Go to the parade. See what's going on. Speak to people. See how people feel. I went to my first Pride parade 10 years ago when I came out to Manchester, and it made me cry so much that there were all these people that didn't hate who or what I was, and that I had lived in fear for so long. And I just think that message has really stuck with me, and that is why I think Pride means a lot to me, because it had a big impact on me. And I think there are people out there in the world that it might have a similar impact on, and I don't think we should just forsake it. The sun is fully up now, as you can see there. It looks a bit dark because of the video, but these two old ladies have come out and they're sat in the chairs and they're watching it. What a beautiful thing. I'm just going to sit here and listen to the waves for a little bit now. But if you've enjoyed this, share it, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are on this, because I know it's can feel like a bit of a controversial topic, but I don't think it needs to be. And I think it's important to have discourse. I also don't know if the comment section of social media is the place to have that discourse, but yeah, let me know what you think. Next week I'm going to be talking about well, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but probably something to do with being on holiday. So I hope to see you next week. Stay safe, look after yourself.